Alright, so the first step to making your mermaid tail pinata is to get your shape done and then make two of them. You want the top and the bottom. And in order to separate them, I like to make a little spot, like a piece of cardboard scrap, and either make a circle or a square or a triangle, it doesn't really matter. Just something to separate the two pieces from each other so that when you make the paper mache part, it makes it easier. So there you go. I'm going to put it in there. You could use hot glue gun to make it stick. This time I just stuck it on there without any glue or anything because I think it's going to be secure enough. With the sides that I had put on there. The inside is this is what it's going to look like in the inside, just like that. And then you can move it wherever you think is best. I like to put it in the center. And sometimes I put more than one. This time I think this is going to be fine. So then I just grab the, yeah, it's going to be stable. I just grab the sides, a cardboard to put on the sides, and I'm just going to tape them. Whatever width you think, I like it to be like this, which is probably like, I don't know, 3 inches probably. I just put some tape every couple of inches apart. You could do as much tape as you want. Some people use hot glue gun, so if you want to use a hot glue gun, that's fine too, just whatever you like. I just used some painter's tape just because I knew I was going to make it really secure with the paper mache part. So this is what it's going to look like as your base. It's just going to be just like that, just like a shape, just a cardboard box. Right here, I did the paper mache, but I used to do a paper mache paste, but now I just use Mod Podge, and sometimes I water it down just a little bit. This one, I think I put just a tad bit of water, not much. So what you're going to do is put just a little bit of glue, and then you're going to put your paper. You can use newspaper. I like to use packaging paper because then I won't have to paint it or anything. It'll just be all one color. And then you seal the top part. So I always like to put the glue on the bottom and on the top. And you just want to do it all throughout the whole thing a couple of times, and then you can do it with streamers. You do the same technique where you just put a little bit of glue on the streamers because the streamers are very thin and they do soak it up a lot. So this part you just want to use a tad bit of glue. And then you just put it like this, and you want to just kind of layer it just a little bit on top of the other one, and you want to press it in and then put a little bit of glue on top, and that is it. Okay, so I have already finished doing the sides of the tails by just getting strips of the green tissue paper and gluing it on the top and the bottom and layering it. And so now what I'm doing is cutting out the little like scales. So I'm doing 3 different colors. I'm going to do the purple underneath, a light blue, and another light bluish green color, like an aqua color, on top. So right now what I did was I just kind of folded into a square, like up and down to a square, and then so like basically what I did was I got a strip of the purple and the blue, and I measured the size that I needed, just a square, went like this, and just kind of did like a zigzag kind of a, I don't know how to describe it, but just keep going like this, back and forth, you know what I mean? Like a, what is that musical instrument called? I can't think of it. Anyway, so just keep going back and forth. This is a little messy looking, but as you can see, I'm just kind of like putting it like that. Then what I did was I grabbed a cap from any drink bottle, really, the size that you need, and then I put it down onto the square, traced it, and then I'm cutting them all at once so that I can have like a pile of these little scales. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have purple as my bottom and then a blue on top. I have another blue I haven't opened yet. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them like this so that they are going to be where the purple is underneath, and then it's going to be like that across all the way. So that's the next step. And then after you do that, you're pretty much done. You'll just have to figure out how to seal up the top. We'll figure out that at the end so that we can have a little opening spot for the candy to go in. So yeah, we're almost done. I'm excited. Alright, and I wanted to add that that's not the only way to do it. Doing it one by one is going to be a long time. It's going to be very consuming. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. So if you don't want to do it that way, there's another way to do it where you can grab both the under layer and the top layer, put them on top of each other, measure out across the size that you need of the piñata, and then cut it and then glue the bottom part. Then what you can do is like a loop, draw like a loop, or cut, or you don't even have to cut, draw it, you can just cut it if you'd like, and just draw and just cut little loops like that, so that way you only have one long strand. That'd be faster, and go across and you'll just have loops, and so it'll just be like loops like this. It'll be like, instead of individual little circles, you can do the loops like that straight across. And we'll do that on the other side as well, just to see the difference and see which one's best. Alright, so this is what I was talking about with the loops. So I have the purple one at the bottom, the blue one on top. If you don't want to do it like this, you can move it just a little bit over where the purple ones are like in the middle of all the blue little loops. But I think it looks a lot better if you put the blue on top and the purple one like directly underneath it, so it's the same shape both ways. So the other way that I did is the one I actually decided to go with, which is where the blue circle's on the top and the blue one's at the bottom. You just glue it together, and then you can do them like this, and it gives it kind of a scaly look. They both look good, but I really like the way that one turned out with just the circles. So what I did was I put one at the bottom, and then I started to layer it on top by putting two at the top above that, and then like basically 3 and 4, and then however much you need to do to make it look good. You just keep kind of putting them in a row. I would start from left to right, and from bottom to top, because you don't want to go above and then start a line and start going underneath it. It won't look as good as if you started with one and then go on top of those two like that. So I thought it looked really cute like that. It's up to you how you want to do it, but this is just the way I liked it so far. It turned out really good. So let's see. Alright, and so I used 2 different blues for my scales. I did a light blue, and another blue is just a tad bit different in the shading. But I did mostly one blue, like a dark blue, and then every once in a while I would randomly stick in a light blue one. So for the most part, these were all dark, and then I stuck a light one at the end, and then the dark one next to it. So you can see that's like dark, dark, light, and then there's it's not in a pattern at all. There's no pattern to it. I just every once in a while would stick a light one in, and then mostly dark ones. I just like the way it turned out that way. Alright, and so this is where I decided to stop on the fins on the scales. So right here is where I'm going to put a green streamer and do the rest of it all green. So what I did was I just got a green streamer and I folded it in half just to make like a thin line, and then I measured the spot that I needed it to be, the length, and then I cut it. So this is what it looks like. Just make a V shape and then glue it on top of each other just like that, and then you can start doing the scales. The rest of it will just be a on top of here a green loopy type thing. You'll see what it looks like, sorry. Green. I was kind of seeing if I did like maybe like little V's all the way up and then come back and maybe cut them, or cut them anyways, cut them first and just do these little strips like that. I'm not sure, but if you do not want to completely do all these little circles, that's an idea for you. You could do, or instead of doing like strips like this where they're cut into little rectangles, you could do that whole loop like this with the green one and just do green all the way up top with little loops. That will work too. But I really love these colors. I mean, these look so good. It's 2 different blues and you can almost not tell that they're different shades, but mixed with the purple, it just makes it look so pretty. So happy. I love the way it looks. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys decide to do if y'all decide to make one of these. I would love to see what yours turned out to look like. Different colors, different techniques. Just let me know. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will show you what it looks like when I'm completely done. Thanks for watching. Bye. This is what it looks like. In the back, it looks exactly the same. Let's see. There you go. So the last thing left to do is the inside. So this is what the inside looks like. This is the side cardboard, and I just pushed it in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put one flat piece going across. I'm going to glue it to the left tab and the right tab over here, but the piece that I'm going to glue in there, I'm going to cut a little square out so that you can insert candy, and then I'm going to put a streamer on top of it, probably the green one to seal it off. And also we need to put holes. So what you need to do for the string is measure how much is across here. Let's say, example, that is 24 inches, which I'm pretty sure it's longer than that. But if, let's say it's 24, what we're going to do is go down to 12, and where it hits 12, we're going to put a dot. We don't want it to be too close to the rim because it will tear. So you want to go probably maybe like an inch or so down. We'll put a dot on this side and then do the same on the other. Then if you have a hole punch, that would be perfect. But if not, you just need to find some kind of tool, any tool. It could be a screwdriver, anything, a pen, whatever, to punch a hole through both sides, and then get a string, a very strong string, a little kind of like a rope, or if you have those plastic tie wraps, you can use a long tie wrap for that as well, would work. So then what you want to do is you're going to stick it through the hole, seal it up, tie it, whatever you have to do, and then you'll have your piñata. It'll be all done. So this is what it looks like. I'm very happy with the way it looks. I'm very proud of it. I'm not quite sure how big it is. Let me check. All right, so going across, it is 19.5, almost 20 inches. And then long ways, well, I would say we'd have to go from the bottom of the tail, because going right here is not as big as it is. So let me see how long that is. So going from the end of the tail all the way up, it is 35 inches. So 35 pretty much by 20, that's pretty good. It's a big old piñata that will hold probably, I really don't know. I'm going to guess like 10 to 12 pounds. I really don't know how much it will hold. I'm going to just put string inside here instead of the zip tie, because the zip tie is not that long, and if I use two, it's going to look weird. So I'm just going to put string here. But yeah, that's what it's going to look like. I'm going to push this all the way in once I put the streamers on there, and it'll be done. So that's it. Okay, so really quick, this is the piece of cardboard that I'm going to put on the inside. I went ahead and I just cut a little flap right here. This is where the candy is going to go. Next, I'm going to put streamers, just probably like 2 streamers, one on the left, one on the right, maybe 3, depending how many I need. And I'm just going to glue them onto the top right here. Cut the little streamer part off right here, like cut a little square out. And then I'm going to glue right here on both those tabs, stick this on there, push it in, and then I will be done. I already made my holes. This is just a zip tie. I'm not going to really use a zip tie, but to make the hole, I used a nail, but you can use whatever you have. If you have a hole punch, that's better. But I cannot find a hole punch anywhere in the house, so I just used a nail, and that worked really quick and fast and easy. And then I stuck the zip tie in for a nail. Anyway, so yeah, that's a very big piñata. I mean, it's not huge because I've seen huger, but I like it. I think it came out really cute. So now I'm just going to finish it up and do the last piece by adding the cardboard on top and the holes in the string. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope that you guys make a really cute piñata, and if you get a chance, please share with me. I would love to see what yours turned out to look like. All right, thank you. Bye.